Well, hello and welcome back to the channel. It's been a while. I haven't had anything to repair. There's a couple of things that I have repaired, but I've had issues with memory cards, etc. So lost the footage. So I thought I'd give this another go, and I did think I'd started the camera on the first part of this repair, but I didn't. So rather than put it all back together again and start from scratch, I thought I'll show you what it is that we are repairing today with just the same model. This one belongs to me. It is a boot dryer. It's more of a footwear dryer, but I use it predominantly, or my daughter uses it predominantly, for drying her ski boots. These extend, you put them in the boot, switch it on, and it blows nice warm air. I have a friend who has one that stopped working, and let's bring that over here. I did start to take it apart, but then realised the camera wasn't recording, so this is what we've got. Very simple. You switch on the top. Let me get that small cable tie. This bit here, which is literally, it's a heat sink rather, with two large 1K 10-watt resistors, one that side, one this side. They heat up once the power's turned on, dissipates the heat through the heat sink. The fan blows the air down the legs. Very, very simple design. In here we've got what I believe is a thyristor, so that once it gets up to a certain temperature, it will cut the power to the resistors so it doesn't overheat, but it will maintain the fan. And then once it cools down again, it'll kick the resistors back on so it warms up, and it tries to maintain a pretty normal temperature. It also has a thermal fuse, which is what the issue is in this repair. The thermal fuse has popped, so I just need to use some heat shrink on the legs and what have you, and replace it. I did buy some, if I can remember where I put them. Here we go. So I bought a pack of 10, I believe. It was cheaper to buy 10 than it was to buy a single one. There we go. So that just sits down there. It was siliconed in. I don't think I'm going to use silicone. I might put a little bit of heatsink compound, but I don't think it's really necessary. We'll see. So yeah, I'm hoping my soldering iron is going to continue to work, because one of the issues that I have had is that I left the soldering iron on and totally forgot about it for about 3 days. Seems to still be working, so I think I've been fortunate there. Just goes to show that these soldering irons, Antex, are really good irons. Other soldering irons are available, obviously. I'm not sponsored by Antex, but that would be lovely. So yeah, let's just get to it and take this thermal fuse apart or off and replace it. The way I tested this fuse, just to make sure that it was the thermal fuse that was at fault, I literally just put a wire jumper across it and it started to warm up, and the fan kicked in as well, because this thermal fuse, when it fails, it kills everything. So yeah, that got it working again, so it was all good. So if I remember rightly, I need some that went on there, didn't it? Yes. I did it. Yes, it did. Can't remember. It's been a good few days, almost a week since I took this apart. I can't remember how it was wired up now. Good job I've got one that I can use to compare. So bear with me while I go and find my screwdrivers, because they've gone missing. So see if I can squeeze this one in as well. The only difference with this one is that this has got a couple of ultraviolet LEDs in there. It's supposed to sort of be for hygienic reasons, but to be fair, unless it was UVC, I don't think it's going to do a lot, because it's UVC that's used, you know, we get these lamps that can sterilize places. It's UVC that does that, but it's also dangerous to the skin and things like that. It'll burn your flesh. So I don't think I think these, it's just a gimmicky thing. So yeah. I'll sort that one out later, because it's not quite lined up properly as it's clipped together. $480 degrees, as quick as that. So there's all that. the last bit of, yeah, things haven't been going well for me lately. That started to melt. It is only a cheap hot air station, something that I picked up. For next to nothing, but yeah, it's not the best, but it's better than having nothing. So let's put this back on. Like this. No, it's not really essential. Let's see that. I'm going to put a little bit of thermal paste in there. Because it did have some, I think it was more silicone to hold it in place. Because it was white and gooey, but it would stick hard, and thermal paste doesn't generally stick. But it'll help transfer the heat, no matter what, into the heatsink, so it'll work as effectively as possible. So, I believe again this is just a bit of protection for it, so it doesn't short anything out. It feels very, very slightly waxy. I don't know whether that's significant. So, moment of truth. Plug that in. I have a fan. It will take a minute or two to heat up. I think it's got to generate enough heat to warm that heat sink up. and then to make a little bit more heat so that it can then start getting blown across. Might have been wise to test this before I faffed on putting it back together. Yeah, that's starting to feel not cool. So it's definitely warming up. I mean, they don't get superbly warm, just enough to circulate some warm air through the boot to slowly dry them off. Yeah, definitely getting warmer that. I think I will leave that just running just to see if I can just check, make sure the thyristor, thermocouple, not sure what it would be classed as, that switches the power off to the resistors once it gets to a certain temperature, just so they don't overheat. The last thing I want to do is put it in a pair of boots and yeah, for it to overheat and melt the boots. The ski boots being plastic. So while I'm doing that, I'm just going to put this back together. Faff on again. When I took this one apart, on this little circuit board here, there's space for 2 LEDs, and the penny didn't drop with this version. It's got the UV LEDs in. I just thought maybe that at some point they'd had 2 LEDs in the front, one for when it was powered on and the other one for when the heat was working, and that would go on and off as the thermocouple switches the resistors on and off. But no, because I thought that it's not really ideal to get it up from the circuit board into this little panel here. But yeah, it's for the UV LEDs. I can't see anything on there. They just look, for all I know, they could just be purple LEDs, you know. Yeah, it's definitely one. Let me just get another. I've used up all of my power over here. Don't know whether you can even see them. Just in here. You can see one, it's flickering away, both of them maybe. Yep. Let me try and turn that off. There, you can see a bit better there. But whether they are actually true UV, and whether they're actually doing what they're supposed to be doing for hygiene purposes, kill bacteria, I do believe that they need to be UVC, which, from what I understand, it even gives off a particular aroma, as it does something to the air. I don't know the full details, but I don't get that from these. No. So it might just be a gimmick. I don't know. Would they be able to sell it if it wasn't true? Who knows? Yeah, man. I haven't adjusted anything. Yeah, I want to get it straight away. Why couldn't that have done the same? Because I haven't moved anything. Yeah, lovely warm air coming out there now. No warmer than what I would expect, or what mine produces. But once that's in an enclosed space in a boot or a shoe, it does get cosy warm. So yeah, I'll just leave that running. Yeah, so it worked. All done, all fixed. Keeping it out of landfill. These are about £40, and for how much were they? £1.08 or something. Saves them having to buy another one for £40, and this one going in landfill for the sake of £1, plus postage costs. Yep, I think you'll agree that is another positive fix. Till next time, catch you later.